Welcome to our exploration of the fascinating world of human decision-making. Today, we're going to delve into a concept that often feels intuitively right, yet can profoundly sabotage our choices and well-being, especially when the heat is on. Imagine you're trying to choose a new laptop. You spend weeks researching, comparing every spec, reading every review, agonizing over which model offers the absolute perfect combination of features and price. You want the best. Now imagine you need that laptop tomorrow for a crucial project. Suddenly, the exhaustive search feels less like thoroughness and more like a suffocating burden. This struggle, this quest for the absolute best outcome, is what we call maximization. And while it sounds rational, it often distorts our decisions, particularly when we're under pressure. Our journey today will uncover how this drive for perfection can lead to regret, frustration, and poorer choices, even when objectively we might have landed on a superior option. We'll explore the hidden psychological mechanisms at play, the surprising paradoxes, and practical ways to navigate these challenges. By the end, you'll have a clearer understanding of why good enough might sometimes be the truly superior choice. At the heart of this phenomenon lies a fundamental distinction: the difference between maximizing and satisficing. Think of a maximizer as someone meticulously combing through every single item on a restaurant menu, comparing ingredients, prices, and reviews, aiming for the single optimal dish. A satisficer, on the other hand, scans the menu, finds something appealing that meets their hunger and taste preferences, and happily orders it. They're content with good enough. Now, under normal circumstances, a maximizer's exhaustive search might indeed lead to a slightly better outcome. Perhaps they really do find a hidden gem on the menu. But here's where the maximization paradox comes in. Despite their extensive efforts and potentially superior objective results, maximizers often report higher levels of regret, frustration, and lower satisfaction with their decisions than satisficers. They're constantly wondering if they missed an even better option, plagued by what-ifs. Add pressure to this equation, and the problem intensifies dramatically. Pressure, especially time pressure, isn't just an external factor. It's a physiological event. When we feel stressed, our bodies release hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These aren't just for escaping saber-toothed tigers. They also significantly impair our cognitive functions. Our working memory, that mental workbench where we juggle information, becomes less efficient and our attention narrows. Imagine trying to solve a complex puzzle while someone is yelling a countdown in your ear. Your ability to think clearly, gather information, weigh options, and predict outcomes plummets. Instead of thoughtful choices, we default to reactive ones. Maximizers, already prone to extensive searching, find themselves trapped under pressure, unable to complete their usual meticulous process. This often leads to a kind of tunnel vision, where they accelerate their efforts without proper filtering, further reducing their cognitive resources and increasing negative emotions. Beyond the physiological response, several cognitive biases and distortions further skew maximization under pressure. Our brains, in an effort to cope, can play tricks on us. For example, there's the focusing illusion, where we overestimate the impact of a single factor. If you're buying a house, under pressure, you might obsess over the kitchen counter material, convinced it's the most critical aspect, while overlooking more important structural issues or location factors.
Then there's counterfactual thinking, our tendency to imagine alternative, often better, outcomes. This is particularly painful for maximizers, who are already questioning if they made the absolute best choice. If only I had waited one more day, they might think, even if waiting wasn't a practical option. Under stress, other biases come into play. Confirmation bias pushes us to seek out information that supports our existing beliefs or hopes, ignoring contradictory evidence. Optimism bias leads us to overestimate the likelihood of positive outcomes, even when the data suggests otherwise. This can be especially potent when we've already invested significant effort, tying into the sunk cost fallacy, where we continue a failing endeavor because of what we've already put in, rather than what's best for the future. Cognitive distortions like magnification and minimization can also trap us. Magnification makes minor issues seem huge, fueling anxiety, while minimization downplays significant concerns, leading to reckless decisions. When under pressure, our brains, seeking to conserve precious cognitive resources, often resort to habitual decision-making. We stick to what's familiar, even if it's not the most novel or optimal solution for the current unique problem. These limitations align with the groundbreaking work of Herbert Simon, who, back in the 1950s, introduced the concept of bounded rationality. He argued that humans simply don't have the infinite cognitive capacity or time to truly analyze every possible option to achieve perfect utility maximization. Instead, we satisfice, choosing the first option that meets our minimum criteria. It's a pragmatic, realistic approach to decision-making in a complex world. Later, Barry Schwartz further illuminated the emotional toll of the paradox of choice, while Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky revolutionized our understanding of cognitive biases and how they influence our choices under risk and uncertainty. This isn't just academic theory, it has profound real-world implications. Understanding how maximization distorts decisions under pressure is crucial in fields ranging from managerial decision-making and entrepreneurship to clinical judgment, finance, and general management. Leaders in high-stakes environments constantly face situations where the drive for perfection can backfire, leading to burnout, missed opportunities, and poor strategic choices. The debate continues. Is maximization ever truly rational? Is it a fixed personality trait or a flexible strategy? While maximizers might achieve objectively better outcomes, is the extensive effort and negative emotional experience truly worth it? There's also the challenge of distinguishing between biases that are genuinely harmful and those that might be adaptive heuristics, helping us make faster, good enough decisions when speed is paramount. So, what does this mean for us? The key takeaway isn't that striving for excellence is bad. It's about recognizing the psychological traps that can emerge when that drive for perfection meets the demands of pressure. First, be aware of the pressure itself. Acknowledge its physiological and cognitive effects. Give yourself permission to satisfice, to choose the good enough option that meets your criteria, especially when time and resources are limited. Challenge your cognitive biases. Ask yourself, am I magnifying a minor issue? Am I only looking for information that confirms what I want to believe? Embrace bounded rationality. Understand that in most real-world scenarios, true perfection is an elusive, often counterproductive goal. By shifting our perspective from the absolute best to the best I can do under these circumstances, we can reduce stress, increase satisfaction, and ultimately make more effective decisions. Thank you for joining me today. May your decisions be clearer, calmer, and more effective.